up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 95.
5 more to go to the 100th.
5 more. 95 incredible episodes. Not possible without our partners.
Who are?
Edge VR Arcade and Creative Edge. Who's ridiculous?
In a good way, ridiculous.
Ridiculous in a good way, yeah.
And Werner Electric. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for us. And being able to put on the show.
Wait.
Go Blizz. Yeah. No, we're not done yet.
95, world's shortest episode. We're good.
Shortest?
Yes.
Speaking of shortest.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Your hair looks short. I can see your
I got
hair.
told to sit up earlier.
Well, you were kind of slouching.
So I get told that I need a new hat, and then I get told, where's your hat?
Well, where is your hat?
It's in the car. I just have so much to do today.
I just don't normally see your hair, so I'm
I know, right? Nap asked the same thing when I walked in today. It was all sorts of I got that, hey, Ryan, you're a slob normally vibe. Why do you look like a person today? I'm like, thanks, Nap.
So what are you doing today?
I got a couple meetings, one check presentation for FRC, who was the halftime game one, and then I'm playing at church tonight on guitar, so the way my day goes right now, I don't have time to go home and change and get a kid to wherever. So this is the Ryan you get and will love. So
I like this Ryan. There's nothing wrong with this Ryan.
I appreciate
You need
that.
a new hat anyway because it's the wrong color.
I do.
It's
that's because it faded.
It's so washed out.
It really is.
Yeah, between sunshine and the washing machine.
I think that's from 6 years ago. That hat is. So
I think it is.
Yep.
It's a Caitlin hat.
It had a defect in the logo, so Caitlin and George just gave it to me, and I've had it since then. So
okay,
it has seen better days. Maybe we'll put that thing out to pasture on an episode. We're light it on fire or something here.
Oh my gosh, I'd rather you burn it than just throw it out.
Okay, got it.
That doesn't mean I want to light it on fire on the set
Yeah.
though. I'm not.
Creative Edge, do you have proper fire suppression methods in here? All right, let's do it. There it is.
Okay.
Well, how was your weekend?
I had a big weekend.
Yes.
I had a big weekend.
You got soaked.
I did get soaked. Don't we want to talk about the game first?
Yeah.
Because that happened on Friday.
Okay, yeah.
So we're going to go
sequentially. Because you left right away, it all blurs for me.
I know.
Because Kirsten's wasn't she just at the game? I'm like, yeah, now she's in California.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I did go to California
Yep.
on Saturday morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. So I got 3 hours of sleep.
Crazy. That's kind of what you do, though.
That's what I do. It is what it is.
So yeah, let's go to the game.
Let's debrief the game.
Yep.
A lot of things happening in that game. It was a great game. Thank you for all who attended. It was a fabulous attendance. Great crowd. I really thought we had the game until the fourth quarter. I thought it was going back and forth so much, and I think we had Sioux Falls on a high alert.
Yeah.
For lack of a better phrase. And I think in the end, though, our players played so hard. We had some issues with special teams at the end. I'm going to say this one gets chalked up to coaching more so than the players. Now, I'm not saying that the players didn't play a role, because they did. But I think between clock management and just anticipating what Sioux Falls was going to do, and then Sioux Falls knowing what we were doing, it didn't take them too long to figure out how talented our quarterback was or is. And when he was running the ball, they anticipated what we were doing next. So the next time we play them, and I think we play them one more time, or are we done? No, we're done now.
Yep.
We're done playing Sioux Falls.
Outside of playoffs.
Yeah. So the next time we just have to mix it up a little bit. Our refs were not on their best with this last game, but we cannot blame the refs for losing the game.
Yeah.
There was a call that came in. We should talk about it just a little bit. We were kind of talking about it before the show started.
Yeah, I'm going to let you carry this one.
Yeah. So fan interference. When you come to one of our games, it's very easy to feel that you're because you are part of the game. But you need to know that wall is still considered part of the playing field for the players. Now, granted, when they hit the wall, it's out of bounds. But if they're in an active catch situation, they can fly over the wall to catch a ball.
Yeah.
So I just caution you when you're in the front row, front row only, second row, I would say you're okay, because he'd have to be like flying through the air to get to you. But if you're in that front row, make sure the play is done before you put your hands on the ball. So we had a fan interference call that cost us a play, and it wasn't that great. And the poor fan felt terrible. I mean, terrible. And even our coach went over, to talk and say, hey, this is what you got to do, or not do, I should say. So just watch where your hands are. We will gladly give you the ball if we catch it. The player will probably just hand it to you, but don't try to take it away from the player. Even if it's the opposing team, don't do it.
Yeah. I thought never funny when someone takes a hit like they hit, and Jerome got rocked.
Oh, my gosh.
Sioux Falls social media afterwards, hats off to you. That was brilliant. Have you seen it?
No.
It has the Aaron Rodgers where he gets rocked and he has the terrible face with his helmet slid off, and Jerome, and said who did it better. It's brilliant social media, so kudos to catching that. It is
very
great.
Nice. Especially
the
with
hits look identical, like the way that your chin's out the helmet. Like, it was great. So
I got to check that out. Yep. So kudos, that's fantastic.
Yep.
Especially since Aaron exited Green Bay this weekend. So. Woohoo.
Yeah, and I wanted to give a shout out to Riggs and staff, really cordial in the building. And if I don't get to see you again, because I'm guessing the clock's ticking on Riggs.
Yeah, he's done after this season.
So thank you. It was cool to get to spend some time with you before the game. I got to say hey, and then I let him warm up. But been a force to be reckoned with for how many years in the IFL, for sure. Already in the IFL Hall of Fame.
Right,
so, yeah.
Right. Very well-respected coach. Good at what he does. I've always said whenever we play Sioux Falls, they're a very methodic. His mindset, and I get that he has new coaches coming in, but he has always been able to move the ball incrementally down the field without much pause, and that's how they win games.
Yep.
And they did it again with us. There are those teams that are out there that are fourth quarter teams. There's teams that give a big splash at the beginning and then can't finish. Sioux Falls is one of those just consistent teams. Yep. And I get that their record doesn't show that right now, but it's still new in the season. And, when you're starting over with, new staffing with his coaches, plus also just new players, bringing that synergy to the field. They got to get a couple of wins to feel what it's like.
Yep.
So from a standings perspective, we're on a bye this week again, and people are wondering, why are you on a bye again? Well, we started early, people. Yeah. So when we start early, they have to make that up somewhere in between. So after this bye is done, you'll see all of the standings. The number of games played will be a lot closer than they were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a great weekend of games. Todd texted the wrong Ryan on Monday of this week. He's like, give me a call in 5 minutes. So we talked, but he's like, I didn't mean to text you. But anyway, he's like, the cliche parody or equal in the league. Like Frisco's doing a thing, and Billy beat up on a beat up Arizona team though too. Kevin's injury ridden right now.
Yeah, he is.
But it's some great football. There's a couple blowouts this weekend, but Tucson got handed a loss by San Diego, I believe.
Yes. So, yes, that was the big upset. Yeah. I think they thought they had that game, and then they didn't.
Right.
So let's talk about that Frisco game.
Yeah.
Because I get why we did it, and I understand why we did it, but the whole being able to kneel.
Yeah.
At the end of a climactic game.
Oh, running out the clock.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know that Frisco would have absolutely won that game if they weren't able to kneel.
Yeah.
To run out the clock. So
we know that from 2019.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. That's my 2 cents. That I get why we do it, and Frisco absolutely loved the fact that they could.
Yep.
But
Sioux Falls ran out the clock. Luck on us. You're used to 10 years of you own and 9 years of me doing this, where you have to run a play.
You got to do something.
So,
and that's where the mistakes happen.
Yep.
And Arizona was trying to, get them off sides or do something. And so I didn't like that, because it was such a competitive game. I really wanted Arizona to just try one more time. And had they been able to, I don't know that the outcome would have been the same.
Yeah.
So
some great crowds around the league, and there's some cool stuff going on. I'm going to say in the Midwest because a lot of us stick together and talk together, but some really good. Quad Cities has been at north of 20 schools, which is
they're doing great.
Out right at our book. Iowa's doing it. It is really cool to see that on social, and then the crowds would indicate that it's working like we know it works.
Yeah.
So it was a great crowd in Iowa.
So you got to feel pretty good. So you got to feel pretty good.
I do. I mean, those people talk to me. They make it their own, but like it works. Like it's football is awesome, and we want to make fans, and that's why they do the stuff we do with the schools and to give back. But like it literally works for attendance,
right?
And I think those teams are seeing it, and it's great.
Right.
So,
and it's not. And I know my husband doesn't like me saying this, but we know this. It's not just the football. The people are coming for the entertainment side of it and the camaraderie and feeling that presence of being in a crowd like that and watching an event that you're all experiencing together. That's what it's about. Yep. So we do the theme nights to help promote, but there were so many new families again this time that just were amazed by what we do. And Larry had a couple of people that reached out to him that were first-time goers, and they just were amazed by it. So
and I think you'll see that right as we talk about the football piece of it. You'll see, because the game was so close and competitive, you'll see that trickle to wanting to know what we want to do next and coming to see another game. It's completely different if we get it handed to us like we did game one. But it was a tight game the whole time.
It was exciting. It was an exciting game to watch.
There's some great theme nights around. I mean, like Quad Cities either is coming off of Superhero Night or going into it, but I saw their social media post, and it's really cool. They have their players mocked up in Marvel movie posters and Batman ones. Now be careful.
Be careful, guys.
It literally says Marvel Studios on one of your
you don't
posts, but
even if you tag them, that's great. Not a good
right,
thing.
Yeah, I mean, they look incredible, right? Which they're fully leaning into it. So it was a really cool post. So shout out to Quad Cities and some great social media as well.
Yeah. You don't want to be slapped by Marvel.
No, you don't.
Disney is not one to reckon with. Just saying.
Nope.
Yeah. Cool. Speaking of the games of the weekend, we had the first double overtime of the season, which was exciting.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone thought the outcome was going to be what it was, but it was fabulous.
Yep.
So if you didn't watch the games this weekend, you should go back and watch them because they were exciting. Again, some of them down to the wire. Obviously, with two overtimes, you know that you're down to the wire with every.
You're
every
down to
play.
2 wires.
2 wires, technically 3.
Yeah,
the first, the second.
Right? Yeah.
And then a couple of blowouts. Well, one blowout, but for the most part, as you said, parity.
Yep.
We definitely have that company.
I said 2 wrong ones that were not that word. So
you said parody.
I said parody.
I
said parody.
Yeah, confirmation back
Got it.
there. Yeah. So, very exciting. I thought it was a very exciting weekend for football.
The league announced, as you saw from last episode, and at the league level now, the CBS partnership, and big shout out to Mitch Nolan. So that was huge news and awesome. And then we had one more comment on last episode. Mr. Arizona fan, we will work on that ball for you.
We have it.
I have it set aside. I actually do have a Strictly ball that I pulled before we sold out of them, which is happening right now.
Yes. So. Crazy. Which is fabulous. A couple of shout outs to people that were at the game. I did get to see James Brown.
Sure.
I was shouting to Jaworski from up top, and he couldn't hear me because he was exiting the field after the 5th quarter. So I wanted to say hey to him as well. The Martin family. Who did we meet with before the game?
Oh, Eric. Hey. I knew exactly who you were talking about. Sorry.
So Eric and his
Green
crew.
RX.
Yeah, Green RX. I got to give them a shout out. Those boys are so into football.
Yep.
Not just any football, IFL football. So Eric was telling me how if the CIF or NAL or XFL, USFL, anybody else comes on a sports channel, they're like, switch that off. Switch it off. So that's fabulous. I love that. It's fans like that make me excited about what we do, because they are the football fan, but they're also engaged in being at the game. They live 2.5 hours away. They could easily not come to the game and watch it on YouTube, right?
correct. Then he efforted a bus of 120 football kids coming to the May 13th game. So, yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Yep.
So shout out to Green RX because you guys got it going on. That is just fabulous. So I love seeing fans like that. I also have another shout out. So we have 2 diehard fans that are always in the front row, and we've talked about them on this show before. Do you know who I'm going to talk about?
No, I mean maybe.
Nate
and where?
Kristen.
Oh, yes. Klimo and Newber.
Oh, you know them for their last
name. I do.
name.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Like, you sit somewhere and they're across from you. I didn't know if you're talking in direct proximity.
No, so
Nate
he's
and
kind
Kristen,
of...
I know that's totally you.
Yeah,
sorry.
so kind of on an angle, he sends me a text with the guy sitting behind them. And the guy's from Canada.
Really?
And he's at our game. So he had come into town to work with Nicolay Bank. And I went, oh, look at that. We know them.
Yep.
And he decided to come to the game. So they suggested he go to the game because he was like, what's going on tonight, in Green Bay. So he came to the game, said it was fabulous. He's going to start watching on YouTube.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So shout out to all of them. I thought it was fabulous. Also, TNT was there.
Yeah.
In the cave. Were they in the cave?
In the cave was a birthday party. Or in the cave was McDonald Companies. In the bunker was a birthday, or not a birthday, just a group that had rented it.
Okay, so then the guy that comes to TNT all the time and is really good friends with Tom said he was in.
Got it.
He had a little bit to drink. So maybe he thought he saw him across the way, but excellent. Anyway, so kudos to all those fans that were there because it was a fantastic game.
Another huge one coming up. And then the gauntlet of 3 games in a row at home again. So, Laser Show, May 5th. That one sold out last year. So, grab tickets, kids free with a purchase of an adult ticket. Cinco de Mayo food and beverage specials. We're doing nachos and margaritas. And then we're on to the Micah Tyler game, May 13th. And then our 20th season celebration, May 20th. So, mayhem. Mayhem.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it a
lot. That's not mine. That's the Twins. They called it Mayhem. Mayhem? I don't know. Mayhem.
Fabulous. Okay. So that was our Friday night. So then I did leave early Saturday to go to Disney. I went to California to see my niece Erin, and her wife Robin. We had a lot of fun. It was my last time to ride Splash Mountain at Disneyland, and it did not disappoint. I was soaking wet.
Yeah.
I do not get that. I have never gotten that wet on Splash Mountain, and I got drenched. Like, it looked like I had just jumped in a pool and got back out.
Yep.
So it was a lot of fun, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
No, I want to talk about the IFL.
Oh, yeah, good.
Okay, we're done.
That's not what we got.
So I was going to do this last week, and I decided to wait till this week.
Okay.
So I have my IFL shirt on.
Okay.
I want to tell everybody out there that watches our show that Green Bay is dedicated to the IFL. I also want to say that there is I can't swear on this.
I don't know where you're going with this. Does someone say we're not dedicated?
There is no way in HE double hockey sticks, even though hockey should not play a role in this, that we would ever entertain going to the AFL. There's a rumor out there that we are.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Wow.
So I just want to lay down my opinion around the AFL. I have listened to a podcast now by the commissioner of the AFL stating that he's got these teams and he's saying it in a way to lead you to believe that they have secured some of the teams that are in the IFL. I'm here to tell you it's false. It's not happening. The AFL is going to announce their teams. Everyone is so gung-ho that there's a few teams within our league. Oh, too bad they're going over to the AFL now. I see it posted on the forum all the time. You guys are making assumptions, and they're false. I don't know how. He talks about integrity, and he talks about the brand. as a business owner, why would I pick a model that would be twice as expensive, maybe even 5 times as expensive, quite honestly, where they pay to be put on the air in arenas that are a little bit larger than ours, about the size of the Arizona and Tulsa arenas, that 12 to 15 is really what their market is. They're going to have all of this done by next season, by next spring, and they haven't even announced a team yet. Because I don't think they have owners that are willing to pledge $10 to $15 million on the side because they want to have enough money in reserves for a pandemic type situation. You can tell me all you want that there's certain teams in the CIF that should be in our league. There's certain teams in the NAL that should be in our league because of where they're located. There is a reason why the IFL is picky on their ownership groups. The CIF just had another ownership group that's struggling, that the actual
league had
to come in. This is why people were we had it happen last season. We had it happen out in a state, which I'm not even going to mention, where we had to say, we're done. We can't have ownership like that. We can't have that kind of conflict. So I'm just letting you know that I am a firm believer in the AFL is not coming back in 24. I don't know how they're going to do it in 24 unless they're only going to have the 4 teams that they know have that brand of AFL coming back. But again, as a business owner, why would I sign on to something that's that much more expensive, number one? Number two, has failed twice. And this isn't like reorg fail. This is they had to close up shop. They screwed over not only the people in that were putting up money, their sponsors, their partners, as we call them, but the players. They left those players high and dry. The players had a union that they were working with, and it didn't do them any good. And then those poor guys couldn't play in other leagues because of that situation. So I have no intention, and I would rather fold the Blizzard than go to the AFL. Honestly.
I had no clue what was going on. So.
Yeah. So I would just say, I think that they're hyping stuff up to get the fans excited. And that's great. If you were an AFL fan and you liked watching, I'm just saying, I don't know how they can bring it back in the same capacity. They're trying to mimic our model in some ways. And I just don't see it happening for next season. And they're promising they're within the next 30 to 60 days they're going to announce their teams. So
Who knew?
As my mom would say. If you ever talk to my mom and she doesn't really agree with you, she goes and that's pretty much all you get. She doesn't argue, she just goes So us going to the AFL ain't happening. Anyway, I just wanted to get that little bit of a rant out because there's
Didn't
no
know that.
Yeah, they're I'll tell you what they're good at. They're good at poking the people.
Yeah.
And trying to get all of those diehard fans.
Sure.
Yeah, because they're talking about it. So kudos to them for everybody talking about it. But you're not going to have what you think you have out of them when they come back.
Right.
Because they're sticking with the same model that they had. Same people, not exactly the same, but same core group trying to revive it again. And kudos to them for trying. But third time, I just don't think it's going to be a charm.
Right.
So that's my rant.
10-4.
Good buddy. What's that from?
It's from like 3,000 things.
Okay.
Name one.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Okay. That was the one I thought you were going to say, actually.
Okay.
Is that?
I don't know the other 2,999 that are out there.
Good math.
Yeah.
Well,
see, I know how to count.
Right. I don't know if we have anything in pop culture land. I haven't seen anything since we saw something last time, and you saw the vampire movie. And
yeah, no, we're just waiting for Guardians.
If
I
I've
think.
watched anything, yeah.
Well, clearly you haven't because you're supposed to be watching Picard and you're not. So
sorry, Tony.
There's that. Yeah. Okay.
That's what we got.
I think that's it.
Come out to May 5th. Get tickets now.
Yeah, don't show up with your child and expect to, because it's the child gets in free, that you're going to like where you sit.
Right.
Or even be able to get a ticket. I mean, we had how many tickets available? 200 at game?
Yeah. Yep.
That was it for walk-ups.
And last year, this game did sell out. There was zero. We had to put that announcement out before we even had the ability to take walk-up last year.
Yeah, so you have a whole nother week to get those flex tickets redeemed. Yes. I would do them now. Do not come up the day of and expect to get 10 tickets together.
Right.
Don't wait.
Correct.
Wait. Yeah.
That's what I got.
What goes on in that game?
Which game?
That May 5th game.
Lasers.
What else happens at halftime?
Dash for cash for teachers this time.
This is teachers. So we did have a dash for cash.
Yep, for youth sports teams.
Yeah, and I had some people say, didn't you have more people on the field last time?
Yeah,
wasn't there more money on the field last time?
Yep.
You are correct. Very observant.
That's coming. Yep. This one will be way less friendly. Teachers are vicious.
They are
for that
vicious.
Cash money.
Well, and these guys were able to kind of segregate the field a little bit.
Yeah.
So there was one guy just kind of sweeping it all to one side, and
Yeah.
then he just shoved it all in. That wouldn't happen.
No.
That just wouldn't happen on game day.
Nope.
And we got to spread it out really well because we did kind of clump.
Yep. Nope. This will be larger amounts of the money and way more bodies.
So that's the check that you're presenting today.
No, this was the youth. This is the youth football team that fundraised game 1 with us.
Okay.
So, yep.
Excellent. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, that's all I got now.
Same.
Okay.
Until next time. Should we
Get
hit him
Blizzy.
with it? Get Blizzy. That's new. You just changed it.
No, I'm saying until next time, get Blizzy,
you
and
get
then
Blizzy
we're gonna
and get tickets.
Yeah.
We'll hit you with it. Should we hit him with it?
Okay. Yes.
Go
Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
Subscribe,
share,
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.